I personally indeed requested and urged the importance of public-private partnerships for sports. We know where we are now, post-Irma, and we do know and understand the enormous need for resources and funds, and we do understand that there were indeed extensive damages to our sports facilities. And that indeed emphasizes, therefore, that we need to go beyond the investments that government is able to make, and that we have to understand, indeed, that we need private investments and support as well. So indeed, the possibility to introduce the Step Up for Sports mixer that will be elucidated further in our program for today is a great opportunity to indeed ensure that we use various opportunities and various options to allocate and increase funds and resources necessary to repair our sports facilities, because they were indeed heavily impacted as well, together with our educational system. So today is the launch of the Sports Matters campaign and the Step Up for Sports initiative. And I should always have to emphasize that it starts with hashtag Sports Matter and hashtag Step Up for Sports. I've therefore decided as Minister of Sport to make a strong appeal to the business sector. And not only the business sector here on island, because of course many organizations emphasize that they are heavily hit as well, and the SHTA reminded us, but it's also therefore an appeal to not only organizations and businesses on island, but also throughout the entire region and throughout the world, because I know that everybody has their eyes on St. Martin, our resilience and our ability to indeed bounce back and start back better after Irma. I therefore decided to indeed make such a letter emphasizing the partnership with the National Sports Institute, and that letter is going to go out, and I thought it might be best to highlight some of those critical paragraphs that I'm addressing to the private sector. So it starts by alluding to the business sector as a partner in sport. And it starts by sport and physical activity has always contributed to the development of a healthier society. And I'm sure you agree with us that sport has significant health, social and economic benefits. Sports play an important role for our young people, and I'm encouraged by and have great respect for the commitment and hard work by the various sport organizations and volunteers to bring the training, sport activities and tournaments back to our sport facilities. Now, more than ever, in the post-Irma recovery stage, it is critically important that persons have a place where they can go to release everyday stresses, as engaging in sports releases endorphins that boosts moods and encourages positive social interaction. You may have seen that our sport facilities suffered major damage, which has severely diminished our capacity to maintain the level of sporting activities that we once enjoyed before the passing of last year's devastating hurricane. Due to the challenging financial circumstances, I am proud of our first support to start the repairs of the 6 basketball courts in a number of districts and the repairs to the Melford Hazel Sports Center in Soccer Garden. This support will go to the National Sports Institute, the foundation charged with the management of our sports facilities and the development of sport on island. This funding, however, along with the anticipated additional insurance disbursements, will unfortunately not be enough to repair and restore what was lost. In my capacity, therefore, as Minister of Sport, I am hereby reaching out to businesses and other potential donors on island or in the region to support public-private partnership in sport and join the government and the NSI in the hashtag Sports Matter awareness campaign to become a donor. We have summarized the damage assessments as prepared by the NSI in attached itemized sheets with indeed the major expenses that are anticipated per sport facility. We are making an appeal and we are requesting that you join the growing number of groups and organizations that have already committed and donated in the interest of young persons' possibilities to do sport at safe and supportive sports facilities. The letter continues by saying how you're able to make such a donation directly to the National Sports Institute, and the letter gives the details of their banking information and how it can indeed be encouraged. It also therefore sends an invitation to the NSI, the business sector, in collaboration with the NSI and the sports department, to join the mixer on Friday, April 6th, where there will be an auction and your chance to bid on the preferred low, medium, or high donation. We invite you therefore to join us at 5 p.m. at the Government Administration Building for this engaging and worthy fundraising initiative. The letter concludes by saying we hope that you agree with us that hashtag sports matter in our community and that your organization or company will extend their support.
Connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Before going over to appointing the members of the committee to verify these credentials, let me remind members of Parliament that if necessary to speak, the speaking time is 20 minutes in the first round and 10 minutes in the second round. And yes, we do have the speakers list, and I give the floor according to that list to MP George Ponteflet. MP Ponteflet, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, indeed, I want to use this opportunity to express several things. I believe that it is opportune that I do so. Let me start before making some remarks, by thanking the voters of St. Martin, first and foremost, all the voters of St. Martin, as a matter of fact, all the people of St. Martin, those that voted and those that did not vote but still live in this beautiful island of ours. I also want to thank my colleagues in Parliament, those that are present, and of course we have those that are coming in. I must admit that I've always felt that even though we had our differences, that there was also a time, or there's always a time that we can sit down and discuss on a friendly basis. And I believe that's one of the things that I don't ever want to see us lose when it comes to St. Martin regards to that. I believe that the floor of Parliament, where we to represent the people of St. Martin, it is where we have our debates. Sometimes it can get very, let me use the term fiery at the same time, but again, I believe that it is important that after the dust has settled, that we should understand that it is a task that we must accomplish, and the people have elected us to do so. I want to thank also the faction staff that has worked with us vehemently in ensuring that documentation that is available was made available to us as members of Parliament. I want to thank the staff of Parliament for the way they have addressed themselves when it came to contact with me, especially as a member of Parliament. I want to thank them for their professionalism, which has always been displayed with regards to my function. Of course, especially thanks to my family, who have always given me their support, and without which, of course, I would not have been able to do what I'm doing today. And I can't forget my beautiful wife, who is not here today, for her consistency in reminding me when there are certain statements that I made on the floor of Parliament that she was not pleased about, certain things that I should have said that I did not say. So I want to thank her, especially for that, and of course my children, who are also strong ones that have supported me. Madam Chair, it is indeed, they say government is continuity, and definitely not because that I would not be in this function shortly, that it means that I will forget or not carry out my responsibility as a citizen in order to continue to pursue the matters which I think were important and are still important today. And of course, in my inaugural speech in 2003, when I entered politics for the first time, one of the things that I'd mentioned was the social, economic development of the people of St. Martin. The social, economic development of the people of St. Martin. Why did I say this? Because I don't mind being economically strong. I mean, our finances are good and so on. But the whole matter was that all the citizens, everyone that lived on St. Martin, should be part of or should also benefit from the economy of St. Martin. We all know of that very terrible hurricane that passed some 6 months ago, Hurricane Irma. And to date, as I speak, even though she's a hurricane of the past, the effects are still being felt today. And I believe that, as I stated, government is about continuity. And I believe that the task ahead for those that are coming in and those that they have a tremendous responsibility to ensure that the persons who have become jobless, homeless, roofless, that as much as possible, their stress, their challenges, their experiences that are negative to date, that these persons are looked after, because we have sworn as a representatives of the people to look after their best interests. And I believe and I really hope that the new members of the coalition ensure that this is first and foremost in whatever plans that they have regards to the administrating of the people's business. Madam Chair, there are certain matters that I definitely want to see continued. Namely, one of the most important ones for me is one with regards to the issue of the short-term contract, which I believe, as it is in the present form, does not deal with the direct abuse of the people of St. Martin, of the workers of St. Martin, of the laborers of St. Martin. And I believe that we should really ensure that indeed that the abuse of the short-term contract be dealt with once and for all. I do not have to go into details about the issue of the job security with regards to getting loans at the bank and so on. I don't have to repeat myself because that is known. But I think that a serious effort should be made in order to to have a labor contract that will protect. Of course, we don't want to abuse the employer either, but at the same time, we have to ensure that the people are treated properly and that they have a sense of security, of certainty that they can plan their future based on that security.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as MyCard. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to MyCard. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to MyCard today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
Tell them, connecting you.
To say if there is no income from the workers, then basically the fund would not be able to get any premiums. But in addition to that, this is interesting for the workers to know that if you are of a Dutch passport holder and you don't have an income, you can continue to enjoy the coverage of your medical insurance up to a year or even a period longer than that. But basically it is, if you are not working, you have no income, those are the basic criteria. I say that to say for workers, for example, that are now on a program that will be receiving a stipend for attending the training programs, for example, that is considered an income. For workers that do not carry the Dutch nationality, but, for example, have a permanent residency or a valid work and resident permit, they are not considered as Dutch nationals. So which means we would have a larger pool of workers that are now, after Hurricane Irma, that are now uninsured and would be going as uninsured. Where do they turn to? If they turn to the Department for Financial Assistance or for assistance of a PP card, there are a number of requisites, a number based on a checklist that they have to comply with to be able to consider and to be able to obtain that coverage. So it says that the responsibility actually of trying to make sure that everything is balanced is actually one that has to be addressed post haste, because the workers in the aftermath of Irma, they are the ones that are going to suffer again. So with the increase of the tariffs at the St. Martin Medical Center, we also foresee a ripple effect with other providers where they too would also follow suit. And then basically what will be happening? Healthcare would become unaffordable, because when you're asked to pay premiums, that is deducted directly from your salary, so basically you don't feel it. But if you're asked to pay for the services directly out of your pocket, you need to have that power, the purchasing power. You need to have an income to be able to comply. Therefore, as the Anti-Poverty Platform and the St. Martin Consumers Coalition, we are calling for the corporate responsibility of the employers to insure for calamities, and their responsibility also to make sure that these workers, their workers, are insured at all time, even in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. These persons are belonging to the workforce of the pool of employers, so their responsibility towards their workers should not be neglected. It should not be taken lightly either by the employers, who would feel that, okay, we can apply a no work, no pay policy, or we can just do away with paying the salaries, stop the salaries, and substitute that for a stipend. This, in my opinion, is not what is a good corporate governance of an employer. This is not a good practice of an employer, and especially the fact that you would be needing your workers for the reconstruction and also for the rebuilding of your business. Then I believe the responsibility of the employers should be highlighted here, that they should feel that sense of taking care of their workers even after the storm.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
One,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
UNDP is actually a government organization. We're active in more than 150 countries around the world. We have been active in St. Martin for about 4 years, working on topics around national planning. And after Hurricane Irma, we have expanded our presence and our work here. So with thanks to the Dutch government and the Netherlands Recovery Fund, we have received some $2.5 million to implement early recovery work in St. Martin. And that includes debris cleanup, it includes repairing facilities in communities and working with communities on cash for work in debris cleanup and on repairing community facilities. But it also includes house repairs and roof repairs. And on the latter topic, which is the topic of today, we are glad to share with you that in collaboration with the government of St. Martin, specifically with the Ministry of Romy, we have prepared tender documents for the repairs. We have done the bid opening today. We'll do the tender evaluation tomorrow, and we should be on the ground with physical works repairing roofs by first week of April. That's our current timeline, and that's what we hope to achieve. Within the $2.5 million that we have for early recovery work, the roof repair program covers about 1.3 million, and depending on the bill of quantities and depending on the average cost per house, we'll see how far that takes us. The target we have now is to achieve the complete repair of about 150 houses, and that, as I said, is done in collaboration with Romy, and those are houses and roofs that originate in the list that came to Romy from VSA after the assessment phase. So it's part of the 500 plus houses that the minister and his colleague were mentioning earlier today. So again, thanks a lot to the Dutch government for the opportunity to contribute in St. Martin. Thanks a lot to the government of St. Martin for the collaboration. We are proud to be here, and we enjoy working with all these stakeholders.